here's the thing with these live streams. We talk about a subject for a little while, and then I go to you guys, and you guys comment back about the subject, and then afterwards we kind of do a Q&A, and we talk about whatever, including whatever, like tacos or, moose or whatever.
Taco Time Tuesdays with
yep.
Taylor and Teal. I like it.
Yeah, Taco Time Tuesdays with Taylor and Teal. We'll see if Christopher Judge wants to go with that. But anyway, so we get off track here, but let's actually get to the subject. So Roxana on Facebook says, "Hello, wonderful people. Hi.
Hola.
I saw many posts about couples sharing the series, getting introduced, husband/wife, getting each other Stargate-related presents. It is beautiful. I have a question. What does one do when the significant other does not like sci-fi?" Sad face.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, Roxana, some of the people posted and said, well, there's nothing you can do. Others said, strap them to a chair and force them to watch it. I personally disagree with both of those. Now here, in order to talk about Stargate, we also need to talk about relationships, and we need to talk about communication and that kind of thing. So this is a good thing to know for anything. Okay. Whenever we're in a relationship, we want the other person to share in our lives, and things that make us happy, we want to share with them. And that's like that in any relationship, not just if you're married or if you're dating. But if you see a good movie and you go to work, you tell your buddy at work about, hey, I saw this really good movie. You should see it. When something makes us happy, we want to share it with the people that we care about. If things don't make us happy, we want to share it with the people that we don't care about, because screw them. But see, that was kind of a joke. But so when it comes to this particular subject, and when you're talking about a significant other, you need to remember that your significant other feels affection for you and shows affection for you in several different ways. According to the book, The 5 Love Languages, which is an awesome book, you should totally read it. There are 5 ways that people feel affection towards another. There's acts of service, where someone does the dishes or something for you. There are words of affirmation, where someone tells you, hey, I really appreciate you, I love you. There's physical touch, not what you're thinking about, but hand holding, that kind of thing, pat on the back. There's also quality time, where you guys just hang out. And there's also, what's the 5th one? Words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service. Gifts. Yes, gift giving. And that could be anything, a handwritten note that says, hey, I thought about you today, or it could be a diamond necklace. So when it comes to Stargate, that can really classify under quality time. And sitting down, I know some people say, well, when you're watching TV, it is not quality time. I disagree. TV brings people together, and I've experienced that in my life with my dad, who's now passed away. He and I sat on the couch watching all of Stargate, and that was one of the things that we really bonded over. We got to talk about, and we got to talk about physics and the military, and we got to talk about history and science and all kinds of different things. And it did bring us together, because it gave us that talking point, and it gave us something to connect with. And that's one of the main reasons why I do this channel, and that's one of the main reasons why I keep doing videos, is because I believe that Stargate is something that can bring people together. And so this is where really, this question, Roxana, is really the core of what this channel is all about. It is bringing people together through Stargate. So if your significant other is not a big sci-fi person, or they show you affection by not having that quality time, they rather do words of affirmation, they rather tell you how much they care about you, they rather do something for you, but sitting down on the couch and spending time with you might not be their forte. So if that's the case, what I would recommend, Roxana, is find out how they feel loved and appreciated, and start doing that to them. And in return, that person would want to reciprocate. And they'll want to show you how much they care about you. And part of that might be sitting down with them and having a conversation and having a heart-to-heart and saying, hey, honey, whatever you want to call that person, I absolutely... What?
Schnookums.
Schnookums? Well, that's slightly embarrassing. But yeah, sure, you can call them schnookums. But you can sit down with them and just say, hey, I really like it when you sit down with me and you watch Stargate with me, or you sit down with me and we watch anything. Okay, I really like that quality time. That's one of the ways that I know that you love me, because you're willing to do that, and I know you're not a huge fan of it. And that can lead into a conversation of, there's this show that I really like at Stargate. You've heard me talk about it before, but a wonderful way that you can show me that you really care about me, and I would greatly appreciate it if we sat down and every now and then and we watched an episode. And I know you're not a big fan of sci-fi, but we can watch a couple of episodes that are not super sci-fi. They're more funny, or they're more about that kind of thing. Because Stargate does have just some plain funny episodes in it. And you can go and start with a couple of those. That might be a good way to ease the person into it. But I think really sitting down with them, if it really means that much to you, to sit down with them and say, hey, I love you. I know you love me. One of the ways that you can show that is by sharing this with me. It's something that's made a difference in my life, and I want to share it with you. Will you do that? And I'm willing to bet you that they will probably say yes. If they say no, then you have other issues and you should talk to somebody. But most people, I believe, that when they're in a relationship, they want to show the other person that they love them. They want to share with the other person in their life, because if they didn't, they wouldn't have gotten in the relationship in the first place. So that's one of the things that you can do in that's my opinion anyway. Sarah, what do you think?
I mean, I think that there is a balance, because, like, for example, before meeting you, I was not necessarily a sci-fi person.
Mm-hmm.
I was more into, like, the TV show Supernatural, like supernatural creatures, kind of. I watched a lot of stuff like that. So, I mean, there is some correlation, but there's definitely two totally different worlds there.
Yeah.
So, there, I mean, it's really just about, hey, I really like this show, let's watch this. And then next weekend, hey, I really like this show. There's a balance, you know.
Yeah.
If you love them, then you watch what they want to watch, and if they love you, then they watch what you want to watch. It's not obviously broken down to that very basic. There's a lot of other stuff, but
yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah, and it is a balance, and you have to show that you are willing to watch something that they really like. So, for example, I'm not a huge fan of very romantic movies. I'm not a huge fan. Last Night is the perfect example.
This is embarrassing to me, though, too, okay? Because, like, I've gotten past that age. But when I was, 15-year-old girl, I was a total twihard. Team Edward.
Twihard?
That's what they're called.
That's what they're called?
Yes!
Wow. I thought Gator was bad. Okay. You were a twihard.
Yes, Team Edward. Yes, because I always liked the vampires better than the werewolves.
Okay.
But anyway.
Go on.
I made him watch Last Night. The way that it was agreed upon was that he could have as much to drink as he wanted.
Yeah. So.
And we recorded his commentary.
Yes, we did. So for the first time, I watched Twilight last night. But that was the deal. I hate, loathed, and despise Twilight, and I didn't see it. I didn't read the books. All I knew was vampires glistened, and an angsty teenager wanted to die, and
she just wanted to die.
Yeah, she wanted.
She wants
opening
to be
scene.
A vampire,
opening scene. You have the deer going on, and she's like, "I want to kill myself."
No.
Opening scene of the movie.
No.
Yes.
No.
At least the opening scene of the Stargate is some Egyptian guy getting abducted.
Yeah.
It's not the Egyptian guy, you see a dung beetle, and that's the Egyptian guy saying, "Man, I want to kill myself." I mean, anyway. So that was the deal.
She's not talking about killing herself.
She did!
She's saying that, like, she'd never given any thought to how she would die, but if it was in the place of someone she loved, then it was worth it.
That's not what I heard.
Tomato.
Anyway. So that was the thing. In exchange for watching, I watched the video, and that was the deal. Since I absolutely hated it, the deal was I can get smashed and make fun of it the entire time through. And I actually had a pretty good time.
I did too.
Yeah.
I had fun of it with you.
So you could do something like that and be like, hey, Johnny, whatever, have a couple of beers and sit down and, make fun of this with me. I don't know. Because, yes, we love the series, but there's a lot to still make fun of. It's just funny. But anyway, so that's another way that you could do it. With us personally, Sarah kind of took it upon herself to sit down and to watch Stargate.
I mean, I haven't picked it up since the wedding. And before the wedding, there was so much stuff happening.
Yeah, we've been extremely busy.
But I did watch season 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Completely on your own. Mm-hmm. Well, almost.
Well, after our first date, I think like the next day or two after that, I sent you a picture of this TV screen and I was watching the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's just something like so.
It's a way to connect.
It is a way to connect.
It's a way to understand who you're interested in.
Yeah, it really is. And with us, we met online and we emailed pages and pages back and forth for weeks before we actually met in person. And our first date lasted 8 hours because we just kept talking with each other about absolutely everything. Yeah, we're weird people. But that was one of the things, that I told her, hey, I do this channel. If you want to internet stalk me, it's super easy. And she did.
Of course, I watched all the videos on Beard versus Geek about, like, how I'm better off single, men are better off single, or something.
No, like... they're not better off. There's just benefits to it.
Uh-huh.
There's benefits to being
single. I chose
single.
all those videos to watch as your first impression, and I still gave you a good shot. So, and I married you, so.
Yeah. So, you must have done something right. But that's just a couple of ideas for you. So let's ask you guys. Guys, what do you think about this? What are some ways that you can approach the person that you really care about, whether it's your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, Johnny down the street, whoever, how to watch Stargate? Because this is something that has obviously made an impact in your life if you take the time to sit here and watch a weird live stream with us talking about it and watch the channel. So what would work for you guys? What has worked for you guys? So let's go into the comments here and see what people have said so far. What?
You should talk about relationships in Stargate as far as, I don't know, character relationships.
Yeah, we totally could.
Strengths and weaknesses and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That might be a good Valentine's Day live stream.
That would be a good Valentine's Day.
Yeah. All right. DMC Bigfoot, howdy. Jaffa Cree, Mr. Miles. Darth Raven, dude, I am so sorry. Hope you got your cash back.
We did.
Oh, yeah, for the cake thing. Yes. We totally did. And she actually gave us a little more.
She was super nice about it.
Yes.
She's got a lot going on in her life. And...
Yeah. I mean, this is a person who is working a full-time job. She was making cakes on the side. And
fostering kids.
Yeah, she's fostering kids. And that week, she just got a new kid. And that's...
Yep.
Yeah, like...
We weren't about to give her a hard time.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, I had this super awesome coworker that went and ran to Safeway and found the cutest cake she could find and a couple of sheet cakes and called it good. And of all the things to go wrong on your wedding day, a cake is pretty expendable.
Yeah.
Like, it's would have sucked if the photographer didn't show or something like that. Or to me, the photos are super important because I want all those memories to be like, something tangible. So it worked out.
Worked out great. Sliding Sean, welcome back. Thank you. Zachary Nikar.
Oh. From our engagement. We got engaged on New Year's Eve, so I kept the thingy.
Zachary says, my wife loves Stargate. She always asks me to watch it. That's awesome, dude.
Aww.
DC and Bigfoot. Oh boy, keep it PG-13. We will try. Let's see here. Omega Ordained, what's up, dude? Nice to see you. Komtraya. Darth Raven, when spouse don't like sci-fi, divorce. Roll on the floor. No, I would not recommend that. My opinion, divorce should always be the last option. And if you're divorcing over Stargate, then you got issues. Mr. Mox, Chief Engineer, yes, if they don't like sci-fi, then you have to find someone else you can do better.
Aww. What happened to, like, love conquers all?
Saya Smith, hi. Mr. Bojangles, they should try, if they don't like that specific item, c'est la vie. Yeah. Like, ultimately, you can't make someone sit down with you and do something.
Yeah.
You can...
And there is something to be said about, like, if you're dating someone or in a relationship with someone who, like, won't budge at all. I mean, I guess there are certain things that, like, people are who they are, and that's part of, like, their character. But if it really comes down to, like, watching a TV show and they never, they always refuse to watch it, there's something to be said about, like, not wanting to compromise and how that will affect, like, every other facet of your relationship.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, with any relationship, there's always some level of compromise and give and take. And if there isn't that, then you're going to have a lot bigger issues down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know, not that it's a huge indicator, but it can be an indicator that there's a deeper issue to look at.
Yeah.
Dragonware 44, finally you're back! I missed you guys. I missed you too, man. Dragonware 44, he comments on everything. I love it. Darth Raven at the Stargate Guy. Have you ever thought of a treasure hunt written in Lantian? No. I don't really think about stuff like that. Although that would be kind of cool. I don't know. If you make one, let me know. And actually, like, bury some cool treasure. And I'll go find it. Remember when O'Neill said the symbols have a name? Do you think the address is the name written on ancient Atlantean? So it's like Cha'ulak from Earth. Remember when I said about the symbols having a name? Yeah, okay. Written in ancient Atlantean, like, yeah. I mean, that is two different videos there, or not two different videos, two different languages. So like Abydos would be called something else, or in Earth, and Chulak would be called something else. Trick or Prize. This is almost like a lost video for Beard vs. Geek.
A little bit.
It kind of is, yeah. If you guys don't know, I did have another channel called Beard vs. Geek, where we talk about all kinds of different things. Stargate, Star Trek, Star Wars, Harry Potter, also some dating and relationship stuff as well. The Trail Artisan, you guys are awesome. Thank you. So are you.
Yeah.
Radim Kids, by far the best Stargate character. That's off topic, but sweet. Mr. Mouse, Chief Engineer at the Stargate Guy. If she ever wants you to dress up as Edward, you'll have to draw the line there.
No, I won't ask you to.
I am not wearing that much makeup.
I'm not that into Twilight anymore.
No, you're really not.
I tried to reread it, and it just... It's not like Harry Potter. Harry Potter, I feel like, translates to any age. And, I mean... The books are written in a way so that, like, you can start at a certain age, and the vocabulary and the reading level is at that age, and as you grow and read the books, the vocabulary and the content of the story grows up with you.
Yeah.
But Twilight is really just for, like, an angsty teenage girl, and when you're, not that anymore. You try and read it, and it's
because it's
not romantic anymore. It's just creepy and weird. I tried. I have a sentimentality about it. I do still, I love what it meant at that time in my life, but reading it now, I can't do it anymore. It's awful.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a really good point, because with other franchises like Harry Potter, I mean, there are people who read it when they were in their 50s and actually quite enjoyed it. You know, you don't really get that with Twilight.
Not so much.
But
I'm sure there are 50-year-olds that read it, though.
Probably, yes.
I mean, that's... Yeah.
They're probably single and have 20 cats. Whatever.
That's mean.
What? I'm just... I know people like that, and they might like the book. That's all I'm saying. I have literally met those people. Anyway.
Really, there's an echoing effect when you're talking.
Oh, there is? Sorry. Echo.
Do I have an echo? I know! Season 15 next week! I'm so excited!
Oh, for Supernatural?
The final season. I'm so sad.
Oh. What's the cake thing? Hey, guys. Hey, Dennis.
Wait.
What?
I'm reading the Supernatural comments, okay?
Oh, sorry.
How Supernatural lasted for something like 14 seasons is beyond me. It's basically because of the comedy and the relationship between the two brothers. I think that is a unique TV show relationship.
I think it comes down to the money.
What do you mean?
Well,
a
TV show that lasts 14...
That's how it lasted, is people watched it.
Yeah. And
it's the last
they
show.
They were able to really sell some good ad space in order to keep the show going. Even with the increasing salaries of the actors. Yeah. It's like what's happening with the Big Bang Theory. Simpsons. If it keeps making money, they're probably going to keep doing it.
There's such a fan following on it, though, too. That, I mean, I didn't look into it or anything, but I'm curious about why they are deciding to end it. I wonder, because I don't know if it's the actors. I mean, I know the actors were, like, there was footage and stuff about them crying over it and stuff. They were upset about it ending. But everybody felt like it was, like, time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, it is a solid job for 15 years.
15 years, yeah. I mean, I don't know a whole lot of shows that last that long.
Yeah. I mean, Stargate SG-1 lasted 10, Atlantis 5, Universe 2. But, I mean, SG-1 could have gone on further if the behind-the-scenes stuff of MGM had its accounting better and its act together. The show itself was still doing pretty good. But the behind-the-scenes stuff kind of killed it. So, I don't know. But, I mean, 15 years for a show is extraordinary.
It is.
Not a lot of shows do that.
Whoa.
What?
My cousin's wedding priest died.
The day before?
Wow.
Oh, that's bad omen.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's some bad juju.
Sorry. Mr. Box, Chief Engineer. The best way I found to get people into things like Stargate, Star Trek, so on, I just play it in the background when I do household chores.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I feel like, honestly, it doesn't matter what genre you're watching. People, if they watch something long enough, will find some facet of it that is interesting to them. Because whether it's a scary movie or a comedy or a romance or whatever, there's always like a character or a theme or something that grabs human interest. I mean, unless you're absolutely not into movies and books and TV shows at all, I think every human being can find something in any sort of media that is interesting to them.
Yeah.
If at least slightly.
Yeah. Well, like, for example, take a lot of horror films. I absolutely hate scary movies. I hate horror films. But the one part of it that I did like for the longest time is in the first 5 minutes, there's always a hot blonde chick.
Hey.
What? I haven't seen any since we got married.
That's all good. Whatever.
But still, like, that proves your point. There's some facet within those movies that a person likes. Even if it's the hot blonde chick that dies 5 minutes into the movie every single time. Or the hot black chick. What? People can be hot and be different skin colors. It's cool. Anyway, my wife likes ones like McKay and Mrs. Miller. That was a good episode. Involving the typical day and life of a relative into the action and secret life of the Stargate missions. Yeah, see, it's good to find something like that. If the person really likes comedy, then go for one of the funny episodes. If they like intrigue, well, there's episodes that are kind of murder mystery type of things.
I still want to watch the TLPI episode. I say that all the time.
Yes, she does.
I really should just skip way ahead.
That's the
watch
200th
that one
episode.
We could do it. Just watch the one episode and then go back to where we are.
No, there's characters in that episode that you're going to have no clue who the hell they are.
But it looked funny.
It is. 200th episode is awesome. Same with the 100th episode. It's just funny. Anyway, so let me know in the comment section what you guys think about any of this stuff. And be sure to check out the link below to the Patreon campaign that is just going live today. Putting out a video about that right after this. So guys, thanks again so much for subscribing and for watching this whole thing all the way through. You're amazing. And thanks again for all your support with us getting married. It's really awesome to read your guys' comments about that. I really appreciate it. Okay. So guys, be sure to check out patreon.com or is it the other way? / the Stargate guy. And until next time, we'll see you on the other side.